that was a piece from Brianna Keeler from CNN. And now we go to Larry Sparano with some commentary. Hey there, how are you?
Good morning, Kent. A lot of what she said, I think, is highly distorted. Uh, Concerning Cory Booker, that was racist, saying that, he'll be head of the housing program. First of all, Trump is right in saying that suburban dwellers don't want low-income, multi-unit housing in their neighborhood. Those are apartment complexes that nobody wants in the middle of their neighborhood. So whether there's social justice denied here or not, most suburban dwellers in nice neighborhoods don't want that kind of housing coming into their neighborhoods. So, she's off on that. And by the way, Cory Booker wasn't just plucked out of the air because he's a black guy and wild and all that. Booker has been pushing a plan for low income, affordable housing in suburban neighborhoods where, included in the plan, would be reducing restrictions on zoning to allow these apartment complexes to be placed there. So, it wasn't just that he said, hey, here's a black guy, so I'm going to associate the race that way. Cory Booker is the one who's prominently been pushing for it. Now, all that being said, there's one thing that I agree with her strongly on. It's Trump's going after Social Security. Like a hidden agenda here. Now, suspending the payroll tax temporarily might work, but he's already citing that it could be permanent, and it would, and to make up for the lack of funds from the payroll tax, it'd be taken out of the general fund. And she's right in saying, what's he talking about with the economy crashing and all that, and with Congress stealing from one account to another, to further that by making Social Security funded solely by the general fund is very risky. And don't forget, the Republicans have been after Social Security for years to eliminate it, restrict it, or maybe even entirely scrap it. Just like George W. Bush was promoting eliminating Social Security and have people play the stock market for their retirement, which was absolutely ridiculous.
I
Now,
remember, right.
yeah, now what Pelosi has mentioned, that this is playing Russian roulette with Social Security, but where are the Democrats jumping on this? Considering that a lot of Trump's support is among senior citizens who are extremely concerned about Social Security being there, the Democrats should really be going to town on criticizing this, bringing it to the forefront. And this is an Achilles heel that could get Trump defeated if they hop on this Social Security. I don't know why they're not doing more of that already.
Yeah, but I think his Achilles heel is the coronavirus, really. But
Well,
getting back to Keeler's report, what about his use of the word invade and how he dealt with the women? I mean,
everybody knows. He's a chauvinist, but it didn't matter in the last election. I don't think it matters now. People are focusing on what concerns them. They don't care about his affairs. They don't even concerned about his taxes. It's just that, what are they going to do for him? And most people feel, I think a lot of people, including Democrats, feel threatened now that the social order is falling apart, and that law and order is being eroded, and Trump is stepping in properly. So, these other issues, if you take them intellectually, analyze them specifically, isolate them, yeah, they've got a point about Trump. But, my perspective is, does it really matter in whether he's going to be reelected? But once again, the Social Security is a real bomb. I'm amazed that the Democrats haven't jumped on this
well,
24/7.
yeah, it's probably early yet. I mean, I think they probably will, at some
Yeah,
point.
because don't
Yeah.
forget when Bush tried that, George W. Bush, he
Right.
was ridiculed, and that lost him support.
I mean,
So
you feel that they would go to the stock market, or that would
yeah,
be
what they want
part
to do
of
is
the
privatize
private.
Social Security, meaning, invest with some investment company that'll put your money in the stock market, stocks and bonds. And we saw what happened in 2009 with that. So I mean, my answer to that was, okay, if you want to privatize, as long as you can guarantee me that the return will be just as good or better than Social Security, fine. But of course, they can't do that because with the
Right.
stock market, nothing is certain. So I mean, this is a huge issue for senior citizens, which are a huge voting bloc for Trump.
Right. And I think he's over optimistic as to what the the growth is going to be. I mean, I think he's really exaggerating there.
Yeah, I mean, the stock market is doing well now, surprisingly. It's coming back already, but a lot of that is based on corporate buybacks and all that. Whether it really reflects a general increase
Right.
in the economy, is something else. So, I find them more vulnerable. Now, don't forget, the polls show that Trump is most trusted to take care of the economy. So I think he's most vulnerable if the economy tanks before the election than he is with the coronavirus.
All right. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
All
Talk to you
right, Jim.
next week.
All right,
Okay.
bye now.
Bye bye.